Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. Let's kick it. Let's get to it. It's Penumbra today. I do not like that they named Primordium and Penumbra. They're both 3-syllable P words. Primordium, Penumbra. Okay, one of them's 4 syllables, one of them's 3 syllables. They're both multiple syllable words starting with P. Make very similar mouth movements when I say Penumbra and Primordium. Both start with a p-p. And I just mess it up and I call them the wrong thing a lot. But you know. Yeah, we got a Penumbra run today. Very exciting. Oh, it's very late. I have once again pushed recording back to way too late o'clock. But that's okay. And yeah, what do I have to tell you today? Nothing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you so desire. And let's get to it. Rage Talos, Darkness Arcus Patient, Seraph, Mind Clef, Sharpen, Prism, Retrieval. It was supposed to be a one-off thing. I'll start talking about this when we get into the first combat. Chest plates is better than cleansing water. For sure. And what are we playing today? Trample or Glutton? Glutton's all new. Glutton's new in hotness because it got its numbers buffed. So I'm gonna go Gorge. Even though it's not necessarily the best run for it, I wanna go ahead and give it a shot anyway. We're gonna play safe in this early game. Play on whatever high floor we can, but as I was about to start saying, it was supposed to be a one-off thing where I'm like, oh yeah, and then for just tonight I'm gonna play a lot faster because I'm very tired. But I just keep pushing these recordings back and pushing these recordings back, and then all of a sudden every run is just, oh well, we're gonna try and speed this one along because I'm sleepy. That's not gonna be the case, right? I mean, what does it matter, I guess? We are on a pretty killer win streak here, so ultimately, it doesn't matter. The winds are flowing. I didn't even mention that we're Umbra Awoken, did I? Did I talk about the Mind Collapse, Prism Retrieval, Sharpen? I think I mentioned. I don't remember though. It doesn't really matter that much. They're unimpactful cards. There's nothing to really be said about them as a whole. They don't do a lot. Is the other card in here Sharpen? Sick, it is. Okay. But these Penumbra changes are interesting, regardless. The Penumbra's already fine. Glutton Penumbra was already pretty good, so these buffs are gonna be solid. One of the many things that I can imagine doing is going for Trample Stone here, if we see it, and just having Penumbra be our sole source of game plan. Prismal Dust, great take to steal runs from Seraph the Patient. And Glimmer's pretty good, right? Kills backline. That's solid. Yeah, I don't really want an Umbra banner because all but 2 units are going to compete with Penumbra for Gorges, so we'll look for something good from the Awoken banner instead. Hardstone, Thornstone, Heartstone. Okay. Husk Hermit, sure. That's fine. So that's backline handled, and we have 1 heavy that we should handle backline and a single heavy now, and we have to answer the second heavy in this run, and then we have our plan. Trample or Furnace Tap or you're gonna get kind of blasted down here, bud, but that's okay. So yeah, Trample, Furnace Tap, or I guess it could be just spells. Animus maybe could handle it. But that's a little shaky. But there's a lot of options. I definitely, I've been saying it, I have a tendency to feel hopeless on floor 2 for a run that might just get out of control within minutes. So I'm not gonna make any long-term predictions, but it's really, really easy to feel hopeless at this stage of the game and feel like there's no outs. I should have Prismal Dusted. Oh well, doesn't matter. With the spikes enemy, can I get the kill here? fights 4, 5. Yeah, I can. Look at that. Okay, let's play this all in the right order. We play Train Steward here. Oh yeah, that works too, actually. And then I get a bigger Prism Retrieval down. This is micromanagement to a level that does not matter. We're gonna kill this boss, for sure. No doubt in my mind he's dead. But it doesn't hurt, I guess. But we'll just end turn a little more here. Pretty smooth first 2 combats. No trials taken because it's tough, but solid nonetheless. Go making of a morsel. And it's probably not Wildwood Sap. Our boss plan is Penumbra, so Wildwood Sap doesn't contribute to that. Steel Enhancer adds very little, and Sharpen number 3 adds very little. So this is just a skip. Steel Enhancer is just worse than a Gorge trigger, so, you know, we'll go left here. The case to be made for going right and looking for Morsel Master, but I think that Morsel Master is going to be something that we want to path into. How you put it? I want to be finding Morsel Master on a path that I was going to take anyway, right? And not on a I went this way to find Morsel Master sort of path, because if you go there to find Morsel Master and miss, you just go, I've wasted my time. Do I roll for the cost reduction? I think I roll, and I roll for holdover, actually. Too bad. I can make this free, or I can hold out for holdover, because holdover making is really good. I think I do hold out. I'll take the -1 on something else, though. Like, this isn't terrible. I don't think that that's bad. We get a ×5 here, it's pretty nice. Rail Spike, Spikedriver? So, I am not a big fan of Spikedriver. I'm sure you're well aware by the fact that it is the only basically the only card that is not golded, right? I've won multiple runs with Gift of Gratitude, but never with it making it to the end because it purges itself, right? But it has contributed greatly to many runs. I, right now, think that Spikedriver might be the only card in this game that has no situational uses. Or, rather, I should put it as, the situation where I use it is so rare that it never comes up. But I think that it might be fine, because our problem here is the second heavy, right? We have bosses handled, we have backline handled. If I take this Spikedriver and then I don't kill it at all on Talos, I have a Steel Shop here. If I don't, as long as I don't whiff on this Steel Shop, if I can pull like +10 and +5, +10 is probably the ideal. I can then get my duplications done, and then by Arcus we'll have 4 of these bad boys. We slap 3 behind Husk Hermit, we slap 1 on the middle floor on its own or whatever, and they should clean up. So I'm gonna go ahead. I haven't picked this in a very long time, and maybe it's terrible, like maybe there's a reason, but at this point it's probably, in my mind, I don't want to take it unless I'm getting that as well as upgrades for it in the same ring. But because of the nature of these events, you're punished for not upgrading before you go to the event. Because if I go to that event and it is not, or it's like the ×5, right? Then I go, I could have had a really good upgrade set here, for example. Play it like this. So ultimately it's kind of messy either way. This is a little scary. Rage Talos is kind of spooky here, I will say. I respect. Go ahead and knock some of these guys down. I'm gonna be stacking spikes on Penumbra for Talos, and I'm sure we'll be okay. Something when you come into this fight with 60 health, something has to go really wrong for you to die here. So like something has to go really wrong. And we're looking pretty solid here, actually. The Glimmer turn was that was a good turn for Glimmer, basically. Gives this Train Steward another round of life. So I can't have this thing die, because I do not want to duplicate this. It's really, really bad to duplicate this, so I will just not. And that's it. And that's the turn. I'm gonna eat it from one of these enemies, right? A little bit here. And that's fine. This is... you die here. So I would need to block 2 hits. I guess it's just... if I play Shade Splitter and Restore, you're still dying, right? I play Shade Splitter, this gets blocked, and then 21 goes through. Yeah, you're still dying. So it's just hope Penumbra can handle it, basically, here. And Penumbra handles it. It's 27 max. Yeah, we're fine. Oh, Penumbra doesn't have any lifesteal. We're not fine. I'm out of lifesteal. Oh, that's really bad. Huh. I'm gonna need to get some lifesteal in here. Lifesteal. Lifesteal. Alright. I think we're still fine because we have Prismal Dust in here. We have outs. I think we're fine. And like I said, something has to go really wrong for us to die here. Although this is pretty wrong. But this should be enough. I can actually, I could do 3 damage shield. Okay, so 5 damage shield adds 250 plus 25. It adds 275. God, oh my god, this is tough. This is really bad. So I think it's right to open Shade Splitter here. Yeah, that's just awful. Okay, given that, we're gonna do something like this here. 497, we don't die. You take a bit of a beating here, but like I said, something has to go really wrong to die on that combat. You take 32, but we didn't die. Hey, look at that. I said Umbra Stone or Furnace Staff, and they said both. Which one's better? I think I like Umbra Stone more, but our morsel generation is pathetic here. But I'm gonna go Umbra Stone. Shadow Siege. Take Morsel Master. And then we have no Space Prism, but I think I still like Space here. Because if I take Space, I can have Penumbra, Morsel Master, and Spikedriver on a floor and still get 2 morsels down. Although I think it might be actually draw because I need to draw into all these cards. Oh, I have no idea what Arcus it is. I know it's not Curse Arcus because it has the Incant Stone, though. If you've forgotten what Arcus it is, you know the image of the demon signifies that it is Incant Stones, and Curse Arcus does not have Incant Stones. So you can at least gather that much. Probably means it's Shadow, but I don't know. Or no, the other one, Darkness. Spell Shield. Imagine like that, dude, God, that like string of dialogue was complete nonsense. Oh my god, I listened to that and I was like, man, imagine hearing those words but not playing Monster Train. You would just go, what the fuck is this guy saying? I'm gonna take draw. I've thought about it, I'm gonna take draw. Space is better there if you have Space Prism or Crucible Extension, but we do not. So, I shall not. Plus 10, plus 25 is okay. I think it's good enough. I could do plus 10 and quick as well. No, wait, I just give quick to the sweep, right? Yeah. Now, I could roll. I could roll and greed. I think I will because I think this health isn't that valuable. How much is it? It's 60 for a reroll, which puts me at 70. So I get 45. So I can do this and still buy one more. Cool. All right, excellent. We got exactly what I wanted. That was a perfect steel shop. Every single piece of that was perfect. I got like the 4 perfect upgrades. I don't know. That was nuts. That was really, really good. Okay. So we need to get Spikedriver colonies killed as much as possible. Spell shield is fine. I only have 1 damage spell. And we have backline solved for the rest of the game, which is really, really good. Yeah, we spiked in power quite a bit. We'll see if Spikedriver colony is half as useful as I want it to be. And yeah, now we make removals now. And like we remove our train stewards and our restores, and we move towards getting making of a morsel more consistently in the deck, or in the hand, I suppose. Yeah. The other thing about draw, I'm gonna try to play towards getting more Spikedrivers this turn, because draw allows to draw back through the deck and hopefully get the second round of Spikedrivers out. If I ever draw it, anyway. I'm taking 5 here, actually. Not ideal. You can die, it's fine. Kind of want a Prismal Dust, but I'm not going to here. I'm gonna hold it. My Spikedriver? My Spikedriver though. Cause like I was thinking my Spikedriver though. There we go. Oh, he's too beefy. I have no way to kill him myself, do I? I do not. Okay. Oh, there's a spell shield. I played the Glimmer up here, and there's a spell shield. I'm a fool. That's okay. The 1 energy that I lost there is not much. It doesn't really matter. It took me a second to piece that one together. And we're taking it quite a bit here. Absolutely taking it. Oh god, that's 18. Yeah, so it's looking a little rough here. Spikedrivers are not going to get to replicate in any meaningful way here. We're going to be at 2, but I guess in the planning phase, I did say we were going to be at Arcus is when I expected them to be finished, so, you know. And maybe I'll get really lucky and I'll draw 1 here on the next turn. That could happen. I suppose. It didn't, unsurprisingly. So I took 6 extra damage for that trial. I think it's worth it. Yeah, it's Crucible Extension. That card's pretty good. Grovel's pretty good as well because our morsel generation is bad, but I really want space. Space gain is really good. And now we want to be super, super choosy with our card takes. I wonder what happens if you have 3 Spikedrivers and then you duplicate 1. I imagine it triggers at the end of the next combat then. Because I imagine that's when they do the check. This is interesting. Oh yeah, okay. So it's possible that going left is right because there's no pyre health coming up. But if we hit holdover, a lot of our problems go away. A lot of the things that are bad in this deck, which is just consistent generating of morsels, is a problem. If we can hit a holdover, that problem goes away. So that's what we're gonna look for here. Could remove consume, but I don't really like that here. Cool. Okay. That's a lot better. And then we make this card free. I'll put a +10 on Mind Collapse. Okay. we're hitting everything I could possibly want here, so I have no complaints. Big Vengeful Shard here. It's pretty good with the Prismal Dust. It's pretty good. I'll take it. And I probably will just take Double Draw because I have Crucible Extension, although it takes a while for it to ramp up, to be fair, and the deck is thick. No trials, we're playing to not die here. It is entirely possible that I get smashed into the ground here, which would be very unfortunate because if I die here, it means I have to do another run, and then I don't get to go to bed. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to not lose here. Although, you know, I like to imagine I'm doing everything in my power to not lose on every round. I'm not afraid of this combat, by any means, by the way. Should make sure that's clear. Pretty confident that we're gonna be fine here. Gonna not play Morsel Master right now. Although, this is scary. This floor scares me quite a bit. Okay. It's a little tough. I might actually get sent here. This enemy could put me in the way. It's possible. It shouldn't happen, but it's possible. 15 goes in here. This is one of the big problems I have with Spikedriver. It's not the only big problem I have with Spikedriver, but it's one of them. It takes so long for this card to become useful. And I know what you're thinking, what about Dante? And it's like, yeah, Dante is cool. Dante does have a big lead time, but dude, it's not this bad. Dante's lead time is nowhere near this problematic for you. Because on the way there, obviously Dante, big lead time and a big negative, but oh god, that's another 18. Ugh. Oh, it's more. Oh my god. Oh, it is tough. Am I gonna die here? It's possible. It's actually possible. I could pass away. What is Prism Retrieval gonna hit? That's a big question. So I'm gonna play this because it always hits something good. There's a Train Steward in the deck still. Never mind. It didn't hit something good. That is tragic. Okay, so I have to risk it on Spikedriver here then, I think. Because what are you at? You're getting +9, so you're +14, which puts you at 90. If I don't play Spikedriver here, I die. So we're just gonna play Spikedriver here and not die. Bzz, bzz, by the way. Is this entirely Spikedriver's fault? Nah, it's not entirely Spikedriver's fault, but Spikedriver is contributing a great deal to the problems that this deck is having, I believe. And I might die to Self-Made Harpy. It's possible. Because I'm not even gonna be able to cash in. Oh no, I am gonna cash in. This is gonna die in Relentless. Okay. As long as I'm not dead, we're alive. And other such great insightful wisdom that you can expect out of me. Okay, so we get our 4th Spikedriver here, and now it hopefully becomes more meaningful. It's a little close. Cut it a little close there, but, you know. As long as we have a flawless Arcus, it's fine. Tough. I don't want any more cards. We have 33. That's too many. And that's 4 Spikedrivers? That is 4 Spikedrivers. This card better become useful. I like one of these here, actually. These help alleviate the card draw problems. It's probably Preserve Thorns. It's a little touch and go, but now we get the improved Spikedriver. 36 times 2 on 4 units that we get to slap down behind our boy is nice. Go left. If we hit, and I think that our odds of survival spike quite a bit if that has Pyre Wall or the plus 40 health one in this relic shop. Ah, some card draw actually is pretty good as well here. Which one of these do I like more, Wingsteel or Thorn Fruit? Good question. Really, really good question. Really tough question here. I think it's Winged Steel, but they're both very close. But I think it's Winged Steel. God, remember when Winged Steel used to do 2? Oof, good old days. People told me in the beta that card used to do 3, which is just kind of nuts. Or sorry, that relic. I call everything that card. You get the idea. I remove Shade Splitter here, and ultimately it doesn't matter that much because both of these cards are worthless. I guess Shade Splitter is a little less worthless once we get 3 plays out of Crucible extension, which happens. So maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it doesn't feel that big, like it's that big of a deal to me. It drew Morsel Master. That's actually kind of bad, but it's fine specifically on this fight because we have this guy cleaning up down here. Okay. Wow me, Spikedriver Colony. It took a lot to get us here, so show me that you were worth it. Blow me away. I'm ready. Rubble Morsel's fine. I don't think 3 damage shield is enough here. I'll do a Sharpen. And turn. Stop incanting that guy for no reason. I mean, I'm not losing anything by incanting him, it's just strange. I drew 2 Spikedrivers and he put a fucking stun shard down. It's doomed. So I'm gonna put one of them up here, as I was mentioning. We get the extra space, we can sneak one in up here and still be able to play Morsels. Which is pretty good, actually. And then I guess I can play this one here on the middle floor. It's fine. And it's non-Morsels, so I can chump this hit real quick. Or I can take the extra energy. I'll do it like this. It doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, Spikedriver's looking pretty good, right? I will admit, Spikedriver is now online, and it's gonna look really good from this point forward. And I'm down with that. Because it's looking really good now that we've got them out. But it was a little touch and go there. And the other big thing is they don't have draw priority. So we are susceptible to the classic Doom draw, where I just miss entirely and get wiped. Something that's always on my mind when evaluating a card as well, such as Spikedriver. Spikedriver is a unique case, to be fair, but it is something that I am afraid of. If we get the Doom draw in one of the next 2 combats, I will be upset. But you know, Patient Seraph is actually kind of hard to completely whiff into because you have so many free turns where Seraph is doing nothing to you. Other than the actual attack coming from Patient Seraph. But that's a whole different beast. But we have, at the very least, we've stabilized through Arcus, it looks like. And that's incredible. It was looking, oh god. That is, how could you Wingsteel? Oh, that's 20% of my health gone because of that. Should have played the Sting first. Tough. I could play a Morsel down here. It's pretty solid. Put one of these down to get an extra round in. Just make our min-maxes happen now. But yeah, we have the damage shield, which I'll probably... Oh wait. I've never really played with this card before, by the way. And oh my god, I hate the sound it makes. Listen to it. Oh wait, it got killed. Listen to this one. Oh, there it is. It's like really quiet, but it's it's a really quiet, high-pitched whine. That's terrible. I hate that so much. Oh god. Oh, that's tough. Furnace Tap is kind of awful here, but I guess Abandon Stave kind of mitigates it, but I'm accepting 4 rounds of reduced power, or like reduced cards to be played, but then again, I guess that's okay. Nothing's that important to play, only Making of a Morsel really, and we got these. You know what, we can go Furnace Tap here, it's fine. And do I take space? Or do I just take more draw? I think I just take more draw here. Space is cool, but we have the Crucible extension, and we're pretty flexible with our positioning. Pyre remains line up with Unstable Vortex. Okay. It's looking not doomed all of a sudden. I don't know, it was looking... When we dropped to 5 HP, it was looking pretty bad. We were looking a little rough, but we get our final upgrade, which is 15-6 now. What was it before? I think it was always 15 attack. Hang on, I want to look at the logbook real quick. Right, it used to, this was 3-1, and this was 7-3, I believe, and then this was 15-5, so I think he got more health at this rank, but he's about the same overall. Don't hold me to that, I'm not 100% certain. I don't want to change anything here. Those cards, or those upgrades aren't good and it's not worth rolling. No trials, we're very weak, but this is kind of scary. This is the one combat I'm punished for, because I was greedy with my Husk Hermit and I gave him health. And we hit the one combat that punishes that. It's not the one combat. If this was a Purifier combat, I would also be being punished right now. But, you know, it's tough. However you slice it, this is tough. Prism Retrieval, potentially about to clutch an otherwise doomed position. I will play one Shade Splitter. Because if I Prism Retrieval without playing Shade Splitter, sometimes I just pull and die. What do I pull? I pull a, oh god, it's tough. It's tough. Yo, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. Ooh, is it bad? Okay. And I don't die, mind you. That was a misleading way to phrase that. I would take 1 damage, right? Learn our lesson from Arcus. Don't take the Vengeful Shard damage. Is what I'm trying to get through to you, but my brain is... I'm just firing on all cylinders here. Overclocking the CPU. Cerebral cortex on max. Okay. This is what we want to avoid. I'm gonna slam Furnace Tap here. The thing that I realized when I picked Furnace Tap, because... So, here's the deal. Here's the deal right now with this run. The Spikedriver colonies are free, so I don't have to wait to draw them. The Crucible extension is free, I don't have to wait on that. Making of a Morsel costs 1, but we have 5 energy. So, at this point in the run, with this position, I just slam Furnace Tap as soon as I see it, every time. And we're gonna just barely edge out of this one, it looks like. I'm actually gonna take this guy out. And it's close. I'm really glad that I talked myself into Abandon Stave, because without it we would be kind of doomed. Oh, I miss my Umbra Stone. It's still fine, but I do miss it. Let me get that last Spikedriver up here. Our card draw is looking pretty good now. Takes the same amount of damage from me doing that, actually. Should have put those here. Onto the Gilded Wing. However, it doesn't matter that much. So Spikedriver, we can do a little Spikedriver post-mortem here because we're at the point in the run where I can tell you how I feel about Spikedriver with a good amount of confidence now. And how do I feel about Spikedriver? It's not entirely Spikedriver's fault. I know. It's not entirely Spikedriver's fault. We can agree on that. Spikedriver isn't why I took so much damage. But I'm not, I mean, it sounds like I'm saying that because I am kind of implying that. We took a bunch of damage because Spikedriver was our only plan. And I think that Spikedriver does need to be your only plan, and we kind of had to, we ended up with a bit of a slow burn because of the fact that there was no steel shop. So I stand by needing a steel shop with it to really make me feel comfortable. I'm gonna skip that. And I'm gonna skip this, okay. The only round that was even scary there was the first round, and Patient's first round is not that scary. However, there's a world where we get blown out here for sure, but the idea is going to be I'm gonna chump block for Husk Hermit with morsels on the Patient hits, and it's hopefully gonna be okay. But this is gonna be kind of touch and go. It's gonna be close by other means or other wording. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna go right. I know I've passed it twice, but now that I'm here and I'm giving it the full attention and the full thought, the thing that we want to hit is remove consume. Or double stack works as well. These are not good. So remove consume or double stack here, please. And at the time, remove consume didn't seem very attractive, but now it is. Now it is pretty good. Alright. So we do that on Prismal Dust. And the idea here is going to be pretty simple at this point. I'll do another -1 on to Trample Stone real quick. And we're going to duplicate Prismal Dust. And we're going to try to cheat Seraph out of this win. The idea is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to use Husk Hermit to buy us the first 3 or 4 rounds while we get Penumbra set up. Once Penumbra is set up, we just load him with damage shield and he wipes floors. Ooh, I don't like that. Although I guess it's fine. Ooh, the game didn't like that one. I guess it's fine though. And draw me a card. It's another Spikedriver, okay. I could use this one to block a hit, but that doesn't seem worth it to me. Like, this is a really, really good turn 1. Prismal Dust here because it's a 50-50 on where Seraph goes, and I'm down to not risk Penumbra here, and I believe it was correct. I mean, it was correct. You don't want to risk your Penumbra there. Okay. I am not, it's not good form for me to say anything like we've won this one, because we haven't, of course, but it looks good. It looks really good. Like, it looks very, very nice here. I feel pretty good about this one. Go ahead and sharpen here. Okay. And melee weakness goes away. The damage output is high, and Prism Retrieval doesn't even get to hit anything, which is weird. But remember the plan, stick to the plan, and we'll be fine. So we want to put one of our Spikedrivers on this floor. I'm sure of that. I'm gonna wait on this other one and probably try to just put it on mid floor as well, and we'll do like a little retreat to the middle floor sort of play. Trample Stone goes down. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably right. Although, okay. If I'm going to rely on Prismal Dusting to survive, I probably need to wait on Furnace Tap. So I shouldn't just slam it right now. Or I should, and then will be okay anyway, is the other line of reasoning here. So I'll get 1 damage shield next turn, which will block this hit, and then Penumbra will take an amount of damage. It'll be 20. It'll be 44. Oh no, Penumbra will die if I do that, right? Because if yeah. So I'd have to chump with the morsels and then hit, but then I'm losing gorges. Oh, kind of close, Oh, another big thing I should do here actually, because now I can coin flip this, which is good, and I'm willing to do this. It's a 50-50, and the risk is just that I don't get to gorge this round, basically. Oh, sick. Absolutely excellent. Okay. Oh, you had lifesteal. Huh. I thought that you did not have lifesteal. Interesting. Okay. So we can do a few things here. I'm going to save my Husk Hermit. That is for sure. I'm gonna incant Seraph once here. It's fine. You're gonna have to live with a few of those. Give you the Morsel Miners, Penumbra, of course. Right. I think that given this position, let me run the numbers here in my head real quick. The next wave is, I think it's 2 Gilded Wings and a Shade Wings. So, and presumably, if Seraph follows the logic that Seraph seems to follow, the way that I believe Seraph the Patient works now is he visits each floor sequentially, visiting his next floor based on which one he has visited most recent, right? So it's like, this is 2 turns ago, this is 3 turns ago, this is 1 turn ago, at the start of next turn. So he should go mid-floor. But sometimes, to spice it up so the fight isn't so predictable, the devs throw in like a small chance, like maybe 10%, maybe lower, it's just kind of an estimation, kind of a guess, that Seraph deviates from this path. So there's like, basically, I would say I'm like 90% Seraph goes mid-floor, 10% Seraph goes bottom floor here. That's my belief. It's not impossible, but it's reasonable to plan around Seraph going to Penumbra here. So with that in mind, what can we think? I think that if I leave this Husk Hermit at 7, he's always dead next turn. And if I leave him at 17, I can do something fancy. There's a lot of ways that we can keep him alive, basically. So with all that being said, very long-winded, much talking to explain a very simple play, which is I'm going to Prismal Dust the Husk Hermit. Instead of pushing 1 damage shield here, I'm going to Prismal Dust and keep this guy at 17, and then in theory, assuming that Seraph follows the line that I believe he should, which is melee weakness like this, which he did, thankfully, we now have our Husk Hermit living another round, etc., etc. It's good. It's very good for business. I can block a lot of this, but I don't need to right now. I take this Vengeful Shard hit, and we play these 2 cards. Oh, that's really... Oh, wow. Oh, that's insane. Okay, so our Morsel Miner goes up here. Oh, hey. Hello, Crucible Extension. It is worth it to incant Seraph once here. For the Crucible Extension. And that turn's pretty straightforward. Seraph comes down here, and then next turn Seraph should go top floor. Seraph should not visit Penumbra again, basically. And that's good. I could just sneak... I could put another Spikedriver on this floor. I think it's fine. I think that we're pretty much in a winning position no matter what here now. The Spikedrivers, they definitely did well once they stopped griefing me. But, you know, this is my big problem with the unit, right? It's just, you go through like 3 combats after picking it where it's just absolutely dead. Yeah, okay. So, in this combat, Sarah followed what I would assert to be a standard pattern, right? There were a few 50-50s because of timings. Like, when I created the new morsel floor, I think that there was an even likelihood of Sarah going top or mid floor, for example. But Sarah followed what I would consider to be very standard processes. And that's really good for business, of course. It's something you like to see. And now we just cash in a few big money Prismal Dusts here in the final turns, and we seal the deal, basically. I think we got there. Dude, this run was tough. Oh, this run was tough. When we dropped to 5 HP, oh, baby. That was close. Ooh. I did not think it was going to be that bad, actually. The Spikedriver turns, or the combats where we didn't have Spikedriver, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. But the combination of Gorge Penumbra being super slow to ramp up, plus our only damaging unit being, other than Penumbra, being Husk Hermit for that period of time, was scary. We cut it. It's hard to cut it much closer. Dip into 4 HP on Arcus. Whew. But overall, you know, very exciting if you care about completion. That's Spikedriver done. I finally gave it its shot, and yeah, I'll probably never pick it again because I did not like that shit at all. Ooh, buddy. A few things to note about Spikedriver here, right? It followed most of the things that I asserted about it in the past, which is I think that if you take it without a steel shop nearby, you're setting yourself up for some heartache, right? Because we had some bad draws for Spikedriver. Plus, so we got the perfect steel shop. First of all, that was very good. Run was pretty doomed without that perfect steel shop, but we had to get it after Talos. So with that, it took 3 combats to get to the point where your Spikedriver is full up. And I think that with the average 6 combat or 6-phase combat, 6-round combat, however you want to put it, I think that you're going to expect 2 to 3 combats for Spikedriver to come online. First combat, you play 1 of them and that duplicates. Second combat, you play 2 of them and both of those duplicate, right? So it should be 2, but yeah, it should be 2, basically. It should be 2 combats for Spikedriver, but it takes an extra one if you don't have a steel shop right away, right? So we had to assume by Arcus because I had to wait. It's 2 combats from when you start killing them, basically. And once they get there, I mean, they're pretty good. The other thing to note is that because of the way that they work and the way that you get 4 of them, and you can get more than 4, of course. I'm not sure if it's good to get more than 4 because you start to run out of space. But since there's 4 of them, it's really hard to go dry. You don't have that many cases where you're going to doom draw Spikedriver. So it's fine. I don't know. I don't like it just as a personal preference, but if you really like Spikedriver, yeah, it's okay. It can do good things for you, I guess. And yeah, enough rambling about Spikedriver. That was like a 3-minute fucking monologue about Spikedriver Colony and my thoughts. But also, I think this is like the maybe 4th or 5th time I've taken this card. I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's tough, but you know, I suppose it's alright. It's kind of like Bounty Stalker, I guess, where Bounty Stalker is good, I just don't really like the way he plays. Kind of the same thing here. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, do not forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.